Well, hello, I'm Joanna with Blissful Baby Sleep Coaching, and this is another success call. And we just finished sleep coaching their baby boy who was 9 months old at the time. So, you guys, thank you so much for being here. What was it like before you called me?
We were not sleeping. We had a grumpy baby. We had a milestone madness baby who was just stuck in trying to do all of the things because he wasn't sleeping well. Super cranky.
Uh, he was also nap crutching, so you couldn't put him down. You had to rock him to sleep. So both of us were having to sacrifice 4 to 5 hours to have him attempt to nap and then co-sleep with mom and cluster feed throughout the night. So uh, life became very difficult through that because it was only growing worse. The naps were going away. He was refusing our efforts to put him down. So we felt like we were running out of uh, options and the ability to actually help him go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was also growing massively, right? So at 9 months, he was like 24 pounds. So physically, he was just this big, hefty boy.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you were rocking and rocking and rocking and rocking multiple times a day. And then for mom, cluster feeding all night
Yep.
in the co-sleeping environment and essentially cluster feeding all day. Because how else would he grow to 24 pounds at 9 months, right? Like no hands-free time for you. I mean, mom had zero hands-free time. She
Yeah.
was rocking, holding, nursing, changing, or I don't know. You didn't get to do anything.
No. Nope.
No life.
No, absolutely not. There was no time for just me ever. Never ever.
Yeah. And I also recall he was doing a lot of mommy preferencing, right? He was being
Yes.
at night. He would let Jake help during the day, but not at night.
Nope. He had to be on me, physically on me throughout the night to sleep. So he's laying across my body and having to nurse. And he was nursing pretty much every hour throughout the night. So neither of us were sleeping. It was miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you decided, like, I need help. And so what made you decide to reach out? What was there a breaking point? Had you heard about sleep coaching? Like, what led you to the search for a sleep coach?
I had heard about sleep training. We had all the books, or we even went to our pediatrician and asked, "What should we do?" And he just slapped a book in our hands and said, here's a sleep coaching book. Just sleep train him." And from an anxious and tired mom, I was, just sort of shocked at like, okay, well, what the heck? Like, what does this mean? What do I do? Um, and so I was desperate just to get help. Our household was becoming less peaceful. We had a grumpy baby. And then there was just a lot of tension throughout our home that we desperately needed something to change.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, you guys, is that sleep deprivation is like, it's one thing for yourself to be sleep deprived, but then when both parents are sleep deprived and overwhelmed, then the baby's grumpy and needy and kind of like moving around all day. It's like there's just no peace. And then you end up like bickering with each other and just being short fused. And it's nobody's fault, right? It's like the situation just starts to build upon itself where you're like, my God, like every day is just this like, oh my God, how are we gonna get today? And then dreading the nighttime, like how is it going to be tonight? How much sleep are we going to get or not get? Right. So yeah, so you guys obviously decided to, ask for help and you decided to do gentle sleep coaching. And I remember you were quite afraid or very tentative about like sleep training. You were like, I've heard bad things. So tell me what you had heard or what your assumptions were about sleep training or sleep coaching. And then I'd like to hear about what the actual reality was for you when we worked together.
So I had only ever heard of either the cried out method or doing like maybe even a Ferber method of just like really just letting your baby cry. And I was very uncomfortable with that. It felt it didn't sit well with me. And so I was so nervous to start, and but I was so like at the point where like we need to do something. And so thankfully with a gentle sleep coach, I didn't have to let him cry. I didn't have to leave him alone to figure it out himself. We had a like understanding of the sleep science behind it and the why. And then we were able to implement it with like more knowledge on the back end that we had already understood. And it made it so much easier whenever it came time to actually train him, but not have him cry it out. And we, whatever like method we did, we knew like the purpose, and a lot more comfortable with it that way, doing the coaching.
Yeah, and dad did the coaching.
Yes.
So I want to talk to dad about that, because a lot of times when a baby starts presenting with kind of this mommy preference issue, or this dominance with the nursing, or the has to be mommy all night, it really kind of puts dad outside the help zone. So wasn't that kind of your experience, that you were like, I'm ready to help all day, all night, and yet tell me about that.
Yeah. Uh, all in all, it's sort of defeating to know that you're an equal parent and able to help, but you can't, just because that's the season that your baby's in, or that's what they've learned they need, and you just can't provide the same um, emotional connection that a mother and a baby can. So trying to be a helpful member of a family is hard once your baby is in a position that they can't be helped by you. So,
Right.
as the dad trying to do all that you can, there's a point in time where you can try, but that's all you can do is try. You need help.
Right, exactly. And that was the thing, is that the dad was like so available and interested and committed to helping. Mom was like, please, I need this baby to let you help too. And that's one of the reasons why working with a gentle sleep coach is so great, is because we made, as part of our kind of wish list and our goals, is dad the center of our sleep coaching journey. That dad and baby boy, dad was the primary nighttime coach all the way through the process, all the way through the weaning. And the benefit of that was, number one, mom got a break. Hallelujah, right, mom? Um,
Yeah.
but also, Jake, like, what's the result of that? Like, what is life now in terms of your parenting relationship with your son?
It's night and day. Now, instead of only wanting mom, sometimes they'll come to me instead of mom. So it's definitely reinvigorating to see that your own child, as they grow, want you to be a part of their life, and you can see that. So it breathes this new like hope and like love into your relationship.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I mean, who doesn't want hope and love from their own child? And more importantly, like, you're like a master at bedtime and nap time now. I mean, dad is like the master of that, right? And so mom can just be like, okay, see ya. I'm going to be gone for the day, or I'm going to go out this evening. And dad's got the whole thing under control, right? We got
Yes.
mom's moving around because the baby boy's on the move.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So doesn't that feel great, Dad, to like just have all that one-on-one with him, but also just feeling like you've got it, like there's no intimidation, like it's not like mom's not freaking out when you're in charge, and you're not getting backseat driving from mom. It's like
Yep.
just you and your son, and you guys got your system.
Going through the process through, you really built a new trust in our relationship, because it's not just you being able to be the sleep coach. It's showing to your spouse that they can trust you, and you're a capable spouse. It's much more than just um, doing it. Like anyone could be coached, but it's a real strong relationship to trust the other to be able to do that, especially when you're dealing with postpartum and those things where y your spouse, you as the husband or whoever, may not understand what it's like to go through that, and you really need to reestablish that trust with each other. And going through coaching like this was able to do exactly that with us. I was able to show that not only can I do it, but that it's okay to be able to step away because our child is in a safe space. Our child has been taught the skills. Our child now has the tools to do it, and you don't have to worry anymore.
So good, right? Takes out all the worry, meaning that your child has their sleep skills for independent sleep, and that whether dad does it or whether mom does it or the babysitter does it or grandma comes to town, the child can do that under any conditions, and it's no longer dependent on a certain caregiver.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that gives freedom,
Mhm.
right? And then your child can have such an enriching environment with all these other caregivers because the bedtime routine is precious. When it is, when a child truly knows their sleep skills, is the bedtime routine the cutest, funnest thing ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew bedtime could be fun,
Yeah.
right? Because it used to be probably a nightmare. And now
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's so sweet.
Now we fight over who gets to put him to bed.
Yeah.
It's so precious and so cute. And then boom. And by the way, let's talk about what it looks like now. We know what it looked like before. What does life look like now? What time does he go to bed? What time does he wake up? What's going on with naps?
So he takes 2 naps a day. He goes to bed around 6 or 7 and sleeps usually about 12 hours every night, sometimes 13. And then he doesn't wake up through the night. We both sleep completely through the night. We have our bedroom back. We have our quiet time back. I can have me time in the evening. I can do my skincare. I can take a shower. Like postpartum moms know, like I just want to shower. I just want to shower by myself. Shower, watch a show. Like I can go run errands or do anything. And I know that he's asleep. He's good for the rest of the night. Dad can go do his thing. I can do my thing. It's so peaceful.
So peaceful.
Yes.
That I love that. Um, okay, so if you guys met a family that was deprived, but they kind of already knew that they needed help, but they were super afraid. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. I think they might have run out of battery. Okay, I will talk just for a minute. The question I was going to ask was, what if you met a family that was sleep deprived, but they were afraid of sleep training, and they wanted to do something to help their baby sleep independently, but they were afraid because they felt sleep training was bad or scary. So I will probably do a part 2 video with them because that was a big concern of theirs of whether or not this was the right thing to do. And I think it's wonderful to hear a parent's perspective on recognizing that when sleep coaching is done based on sleep science, behavioral science, and attachment theory, and it's done in a very methodical, sequential way that meets the temperament of the child and also matches with the values of the family and the nursing goals of the mom, that over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, we can get that child sleeping through the night. And it's not high drama, and it's very educational for the parents. And we build that parent-child bond actually stronger. Like the dad here said, is he didn't really have that bond with the child before sleep coaching, and the bond actually occurred because of the sleep coaching. So thank you for listening to another sleep success story. I might have them come back to talk about that they are now true converts of the benefits of gentle sleep coaching. So thank you for listening.